Guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I'm here today to bring you a message from Spirit I felt really called to do. So take what you feel resonates for you, disregard the rest. Go about your day, my friends, no matter what messages it brings. It's still up to you and your active free will, the choices you make and the steps you take in this world to get whatever fulfillment it is you'd like to see. And to me, that's personal freedom. It's personal power, and it's something that lies at the tips of our fingers, the soles of our feet, right? That's our power to do, and I just want to remind you guys to use it wisely. So before I get into the cards as well, I do just want to take a moment to call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, my team of light, as well as any of your spirit guides or mine that would be here for the entire collective, the highest good of the entire collective. I ask them to join us to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, as well as to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages that are for the most far-reaching, but again, for the highest good of everyone watching. So I have a few decks today. I'm not sure if I've used them on this channel. I may have, but I have first off the Garbage Pail Kids Tarot for any of you 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s babies. I'm sure like late 70s, but some of you may remember the Garbage Pail Kids cards. Well, we found the tarot, and they're pretty cool, so I'm bringing them today, as well as I have the Sword of Light Oracle with me, and this one is our Radley Valentine, as well as I have the Messages of Life Oracle by Mario Duque. So I'm going to just get into the cards quickly here for you. Get your power back. While I was shuffling, this flew out, and it says, "You have forgotten who you are. You are a child of the divine, so take back your power." I know it's not a sunflower, it's a daisy, but it's really giving me sunflower vibes. I feel like there's something happening here. They're going with your crystal vision, because if you look, she's holding this staff with all these crystals, all this intention, and then we've got this ball, this crystal ball with light coming out of it. And my hands are doing something funny with that. And this is a 13 as well, so this is very, very important, very, very empowering. And I want to actually read to you the card meaning. It says, part of the process of incarnating into a human experience is forgetting that you are a child of the divine. As you grow spiritually, you start to realize the truth of your being and your purpose. At this time, you may be deepening your understanding of this fact, or perhaps you are simply proceeding on faith that it is true. But that faith can be fragile when your human experience keeps showing you disempowering evidence that says otherwise. If you find yourself giving in to what other people want or continually doing for others rather than yourself, you can forget how magical we are. We angels, or you are, we angels who see you from an entirely different perspective, know your true powerful self. Your situation right now is such that you desperately need to take back your power. Whether your concern involves a relationship, a work situation, or even an issue with your physical health, the message is the same. The time has come for you to remember who you truly are, start setting boundaries, and claim what is best for you. If things are not too out of control, you can start this in small ways. If things are really difficult, then you may have to take charge of your own life in a dramatic stand immediately. Let me be of service. If you ask, I can help you feel courageous and strong. I can also protect you. Remember who you are, take your power back, and do it now. And after that was, have no fear. For many of this, I heard right away, okay, for some of us, this is our eating. For some of us, this is our sleeping, staying up too late, even though we know that, it's not going to help us. For others of you, like this card said, this is giving and giving and giving to everyone, or saying yes to things that don't make us feel well. People pleasing so much that we've lost a sense of who we are, or we're feeling like we don't have time to do the things that bring us passion and make us happy. And this really is a time to bring that power back. What I'm hearing as well is it could be really important to wear blue. I'm going to show you the back of the card. And the card I picked, this was off the top, okay? But it is number 44. You will manifest what you need. Express gratitude as if your plans have already come to pass. Trust that your angels are bringing you the assistance you need. One thing I'm hearing about this could be a vision board that is time to write it down. This also to me speaks of a list of affirmations that might help you. So, for example, they're giving me like us, the need to take the power back, right? This is something that, again, you've got this power within you. You are a child of the divine. What you put in motion, you can set forward. So this is things that you can do right now. So for some of you, it might be to remind yourself, you know what, I've been tired and I'm feeling crappy. Just get yourself hydrated, drinking water, eating fruits and vegetables and things like that that are going to, keep the moisture up in your body or keep the water content up in your body. This could be things like knowing that you'd like to take a walk every day, that you feel better when you get physical activity, and really making time for it. There's a moment here where I heard is that we have to push past our excuses. We have to push back all the reasons that tell us, no, I don't want to do this today. Because what I'm hearing is, for us to take back our power, those excuses, we're giving them power. And we have to choose, what is it that I want to do? So I'm going to share this part with you because I feel it helps me, but it's to reframe the way you speak, even to yourself, when we don't want to do something. So I'll give you my example, because this is usually what I put it on, is working out. It could be cleaning your house. It could be doing laundry, okay? So I want to use a statement, and feel how you feel it. I hate doing laundry. I hate working out. I hate cleaning my house. Make you want to do it? I'm grateful I have a house to clean. I'm grateful we all have clothes that gives me laundry to do. I'm grateful that I have the ability to work out. I'm grateful I can move my body. When we change our perspective to one of, I don't want to do this, I hate this, to a powerful gratefulness, right away, it's just your body even. It's the way you're going to respond to yourself. So they're telling me here with this number 44, you're going to manifest what you need. But this is, again, taking with your power, your active power back. Because, again, Spirit can send us 1,000 different ways that they're trying to show us, hey, we want you to work on this, or here's what we're trying to show you. But if we're not ready in that moment and we're not mentally prepared for it, it's not necessarily going to happen. They're also saying that sometimes, okay, and this is just the messages, so if it doesn't resonate for you, it's not for you, but sometimes try so hard on something, we can get discouraged when we feel like we've failed over and over again. And I want to say here, and again, I'm going to use this example, but you use whatever this could go into. I'm going to use the example of working out or losing weight, getting healthy, okay, those words, because not everybody needs to lose weight to be healthy. Some people may feel like, where you may have someone who needs to lose 20 pounds, someone else could say, I feel like I'm pretty underweight and I need to bulk up, I need to put some weight on. And those are still very important goals for your health. And they require different things out of you, right? Different ways of eating. There's things where they're telling me is that we can't heal while we're doing all the same things that made us sick. So for example, they're giving me and this is my own stuff too, okay, but they're giving me when I want the McDonald's, or, it's like you get this craving, and there's nothing wrong. They're once in a while you need this. But if every day I was like, no, I don't want to eat anything. And every day at lunch I was like, I'm going to eat out here, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. More than likely, because very truthfully as well, if I'm going for fast food, I don't usually get the healthy option, right? Because that's, again, something I don't make at home. I can't make it home. So my look on going to a restaurant is something that if I can't have at home, I'm going to eat it. And there would be something where if I were to go out and eat lunch more often, because that's something I was doing, my mentality needs to be reframed on, well, I can't make this at home. Well, sure, I can make a salad or a Caesar salad at home. But there needs to be a change in the food that is being consumed, especially if it's not within moderation. So if I go out for lunch once or twice a month and I choose those greasy fried foods, fine. Who cares? Fine. As long as everything else is done within moderation. But if I'm choosing most days to go out and most days it's the greasy, unhealthy option, I am moving myself so far away from my goals. And I'm doing it myself, right? I'm taking my active free will, and I'm saying I am powerless to those greasy, delicious fried foods. So that's my example. I'm sure we all have a place or something that we feel like there's this power struggle, and it's like this card said, like we're going to start seeing examples of ways that if we allow our faith, or if we allow ourselves to see ourselves as powerless, we will repeatedly see universal signs that we are powerless. If we change the mentality to, I'm a powerful being, I am comfortable in my power, and I am 100% allowed to express my personal feelings and my personal power. For some of you, I heard, like, you could have somebody who has tried to boundary push with you, or when you set your boundaries, they walk past it. And this is the place where they're saying to me, well, first off, it's toughen up. And it's not you. It's toughen up those boundaries. So you set a boundary, and someone walked through it. Okay? What was the boundary, and what was the way to enforce it? So, for example, one thing would be that if, let's say, okay, just an example here that I'm hearing, but like if somebody were to come to your house, and every time they came to your house, they tried to make you feel bad. They said hurtful things, and, you know, just, it was always either a passive-aggressive conversation or an aggressive conversation. If somebody came to your house, and they were doing this all the time, and they were always aggressive, and you're like, look, if you come back here, and you speak to me like this, you will be asked to leave. Well, especially people who have gotten used to pushing past those boundaries and past those power things, they're going to test you. What do you think? You're going to make me stay out of here? No. You need to be strong enough to set that boundary and enforce it, even if you are shaking while you do it. Because the thing is, with taking your power back, for some of us, and I know myself, I'll give this example that probably 5-6 years ago, I went through, one of the dark night of the souls, but also a period in time where I had to pull my power back. I was stuck in a people-pleasing state. I felt like every time I tried to push a boundary or tried to set a boundary, somebody would come and they would fucking try and bulldoze me. That I didn't know it was right for myself, and this particular person, and here is why, you know, the situation is probably where I'm saying if somebody is going to come to your house and try and make you feel bad, and to disempower you, because I do feel like, not for everyone, for some people, if they come and they do this, they don't mean to do it. But there are people who will even come under a guise of they mean well. And my example to you on that could be something like if somebody is always coming in and they're complaining about your weight, they're telling you how unhealthy you are, they're always giving you different diet plans and all of this different stuff, and they're just telling you they're concerned about you. If you say, you know what, I've got my way of doing this and I appreciate that you care about me, but please stop, you're making me feel bad. I don't want to feel bad about myself. And then they just refuse and say, well, you need to lose some weight. It's just how it is. And they think that they are completely entitled to that. Now, there's the thing on this, is what I'm hearing as well, is that same person who might tell you they need to lose weight, they've got a lot of flaws too. None of us are perfect. We're humans on this world, right? So nobody's perfect. And that same person who may be so willing to judge you and to put you down and to try and make you change, maybe the first person or group of people that they don't mean change for them or change towards them, right? They want you to change in your way, but they still want you to allow them to get what they want. There's also more on that, is that if this person, let's say you say, you know what, I understand you have concern for me, but you really need to stop telling people what to do in their lives. It's causing problems with your relationships right now. And, you know, the people around you also don't enjoy that. And I can't speak for everyone, but I certainly speak for myself. You know, that person, and here's where I feel like for some of you it could be a very narcissistic dynamic, especially if this is family and someone who, or a group of people, again, who felt like they've had control or they've tried to exert control over you, and they're pissed off as all hell that you took your power back and they can't have that control over you. So I'm going to move on to that, but that's just for some of you, okay? This is, again, with this blue, is seeing the truth, holding it and withholding it. And not withholding it, but withstanding in it. Because, again, some of the, I'm going to call it an abuser, okay? Because the person, I will strongly say that for myself, it was an abuser. This person, okay, knew, and it was family, okay, which makes it worse. Because there's already a dynamic there, okay? So I also want to say with this, get your power back, and it's not everybody, but if it is a family dynamic, I'm going to say narcissist because that's the word that's being given to me. 5 of Cups, there's a lot of shit here. I'm going to take the bottom was the 5 of Wands, which is definitely struggle, and you can see all the different ways these things are trying to bite the branches, destroy them. You've got huffing and puffing and anger here. The Hanged Man underneath that, but the top of all that big stack, I grabbed 2, was the 8 of Coins, been working really hard, and the 6 of Coins. And this is reunion, but also like celebration, what I heard is a coming back to life, a coming back to love. And I feel like for many of you, this may be you've been working really hard on getting your power back, on building up your self-love, on building up, making sure that you are around people who fill your cup, who are not coming to this place to fight. Okay, so again, bringing it to, if somebody's been coming around or again, my example there, but you put it how it fits for you. If somebody's coming to your world and they're looking for conflict, they're trying to stir up shit in your world, and they're looking for conflict because their world more than likely is full of conflict, and there would be a reason, right? I'm pretty sure it's themselves. Why we find conflict? Well, if we're a confrontational individual and we feel like we need to control everyone's life, we're going to find conflict because most people don't want to be controlled. Most people want to live their own life. And I also feel like for some of you, not everyone, but the powers that be that you've worked so hard to overcome the conflict, it's hard because you can't force anyone else to heal, right? Can you tell me more about this 8 of Coins and the 5 of Wands? Thank you. So we have the Page of Coins. Now this came up in the reverse. We'll see about reversals on how this is. I feel like this could be, if you see it, he's got his head taken off and money's in here, right? Money's on the brain. But also I feel like I'm going to come a little farther up with this, is that your thoughts, they're yours. No one can take that away from you. Nobody. And I feel like this is really important because, working so hard to come out of a period of conflict with the Page of Coins here, this is that there is a brand new start, and it's going to start with you. And no one can take it away. We have the 2 of Wands here, which I feel like is a decision on which way to go, how to go. And we also have here the Knight of Coins. And this is taking positive steps forward. I feel like it's been and it will continue to be kind of a slower process. However, when the things, with this card that says take your power back, and it talks about if it's drastic, you need to do it right now. If it's something small, or if it's little things, like eating and water, or, you want to make sure you get to work on time. You've been late a bunch of times and you struggle to get your alarm clock up. This is something like, finding something you're excited for in the morning to get up to, right? Am I excited for my coffee, my breakfast? Whatever it is, maybe you watch a show before you go to work. I don't know, just an example, right? Finding something that you are getting up and you are excited to do. And they're also giving me, this gets more into it, of when we're creating our habits, right? Much like saying I don't want to work, I don't want to cook. That's mine too. I don't want to cook. So what happens when you say I don't want to cook? I don't want to. I don't want to. Do you? Maybe. But it's a whole lot easier on a day that you've told yourself over and over again that you don't want to cook to order takeout. And here's where it's like, again, reframing it of, I don't want to cook today. I'm so tired. I'm so done with cooking, to, I'm really thankful I have food to make dinner or feed my family with today. I'm really glad that I have that. And pouring love and putting gratitude into the tasks that we feel either, what I heard is menial. For some of you, the word demeaning came up. I'm not sure what it is. Like, you could also have someone around you who's always trying to give, like, it could be a boss, a work situation, or, you know, again, a family situation where they feel like they only want to give you jobs that they feel demean you. They only want to do things that they feel like they can kind of undercut and undervalue you. Like, this is also those points to say no. No is a full sentence. By the way, you don't have to, especially like if it's a boss situation and this job is required, it's part of your job. You know, I feel like there's a point to say, okay, like they're giving me like scrubbing the toilets, unless you're, you know, unless you're that's your job or that's specific in your job description. But if I'm going to go with this, okay? Like, this is an example. If you work in a restaurant or something like that, okay? And there's like 4 or 5 servers, and it's the serving job after to do those sort of things. That's been my experience with it usually, is that in terms of like the bathrooms and things like that. Because I worked in restaurants a lot throughout my 20s and that, and usually the people in the kitchen's a pretty big place to clean, right? So you're not doing the bathrooms. That's usually designated to the wait staff now, or whoever they do, right? And it could be different in all different kinds of places. However, this is how I'm using it. If there are 4 servers and you work together every night, and every night you seem to get the shitty toilets, and they know that it's going to be gross, be like, you know what, I think next time I'm going to do this and you can do that. I'll vacuum the dining room, or I'll sweep and mop this. This is something, you know, to be like, you know, let's say I've cleaned the toilets 3 out of 4 days this week, and I feel like today I'm not going to do it. You know, please ask somebody else to do it. This is those things where it's like, for some reason, like, so for any of you don't, like, I clean houses. That's my line of work. So if I had to clean a toilet and I'm the only one, or even if, you know, I'm with my partner at the time doing it, there may be a difference on if I'm the only one cleaning the toilet, but I know that cleaning the toilet, that's my job, right? That's one of the jobs I gotta do, is I'm gonna clean someone's toilet. So it doesn't bother me if that day, truthfully, if I cleaned all the toilets, because there would be something else that I didn't have to do anything of that day. Okay, so I think there's a real framing on this, on just, again, going like the places where you feel that power has been removed. Spirit is really strongly coming, I feel like, with this 8 of Coins and the 6 of Cups, to be like, we need to do everything right now possible to build up your self-esteem and to build yourself up, to know that they're giving me the words on, you do not deserve to be walked on. You do not deserve to have people. There's words gaslight here too. They're giving me too, especially like when you confront the person or a group of people, if you've experienced that, okay. But if you confront the people that are giving you unfair distribution of labor, or who are coming to you looking for conflict, causing conflict, coming to make you feel bad. I also heard like there's those with smear campaigns too, right? Like classic, once you tell someone no, smear campaign, because they couldn't control you and they're going to tell everybody some fucking lie, okay? Now the thing with that is, though, this again is taking your power back. And one thing I would say is, if they come to you and they say that, be like, well, you can tell people what you want, but we both know the truth. I don't remember it like that. I remember it differently, but you tell people how you need to. And one thing I would say is, with this, there are some situations where defending yourself, it's not going to do anything. Not going to do anything, okay? Defending yourself is important. However, for some of you, especially if you've got a narcissist flying monkey situation where they've successfully ran a smear campaign, what I would say is you keep being your shiny, fucking beautiful self, my friends, because they ran this smear campaign. Oh, they're a horrible person. Okay. Everybody who knows you, everybody who's met you, all the people, these people, funny she says they're such a horrible person, but I think they're really nice. People have brains for themselves. So for some of you, not all, but it may be a cutoff game, okay? It may be that somebody, the best thing that could happen is you set your boundaries, you talk to someone, you say, look, what you're doing is really upsetting me, and they work really hard not to do it. That would be your best case scenario. But if you tell someone that what they're doing is hurting you, and they don't care, and they keep doing it, and they tell you, so I'm going to tell you the words I'm hearing, okay? But you could hear that you're selfish for setting that boundary. You could hear that, you name it, right? So, for some of you too, I know we're quite into this, but this could even have to do with children, that you could have family around and you set boundaries in terms of, I don't, how am I going to put this? Okay, so for example, if you have neurodivergent children, right? And you know, hey, when we give them, or just any kind of kid, but massive amounts of sugar and artificial colors, if you know that when they come home or when they're with this person and they come back, they're crazy, or they just can't help themselves either, right? And if you know that what you're witnessing has been a direct result of what they've been fed, or, and especially if it happens a lot, okay? If you continue to set the boundaries of, hey, please don't feed my kids candy, and please do not give them pop. That is something we don't do in our household. I'm asking you not to do this. If they continue to do this, you have every fucking right, and I tell you every right, to say, sorry, they can't come over today. We've discussed it. They have dietary needs and dietary restrictions, and, you've been unable to comply with that. Because the thing is, with a lot of people like that, it's control. They think you don't know what you're talking about, and they don't give a flying fuck. And I'm sorry that this message, the way it came out, I felt really strongly to bring it. But I feel like this is just so much more for you, if you've resonated with this, to be like, you know what? I'm supported to stand up to this person. And again, I just want to say that eventually the smear campaign gets exposed. The narcissist always gets exposed. I think it's so funny because a lot of times they see themselves as like fucking untouchable, right? And grandiose. They're so wonderful and everyone loves me. Or they know that no one loves them, so they need to try and find a villain to their story, right? But the thing is, you can only have so many villains, because eventually that's going to get boring, or that person stood up to themselves and it's not fun anymore. So they find another victim. They find someone else. What I'm hearing, especially when we go through the family unit, it gets kind of hard. And as they age, that's another thing I heard, is as they age, a lot of them will get more like they were, right? If this is the situation. So I'm just going to, 2 came out, and I want to check the bottom. This is the Mario Duguay, and I love this, because this is the truth. Stand tall and strong. Throughout all of the shit that gets thrown at you, stand tall and strong. The words I have in my mouth is put that shitting grin on your face, right? Like, somebody wants to start, what I heard is you may get, the word's badgered, or you may have somebody, you set a boundary and they fucking fly off the handle. Smile, motherfucker. Love you, but smile. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't need to be berated. And when that happens, be like, so I see you're pretty upset. You've got some big feelings about this. However, it's not okay to yell at me. It is not okay to put me down. If you continue this, I will have to ask you to leave. If it's on the phone, if you continue this, I'm going to hang up. I'm going to discontinue this conversation. I'm not comfortable with things that you're saying. And if you do not stop, we're going to stop this conversation. I feel like they're saying again, for some of you, it's cutoff game. Because there are some people in this world that will not change, right? They're going on with like a tiger. It doesn't change its stripes. Potentially, they're giving me, it can camouflage, okay? Like potentially if you've got like, Siberian tigers or something like that, but those stripes don't go away, okay? They're still there, they're still a tiger. So unity says, today I become one with my inner light. I live in the present moment and I stop trying to defy time. I no longer react according to my fears. There will never be a valid reason for me to stray from my own inner light. I become calm and regain a lightness of spirit as I connect with my inner self. Center in my heart and glow in all my divinity. And the other one is I connect with heaven. Because again, you are a child of the divine, right? You have that connection with them. Whenever my faith seems to be shaken by fear or doubt, I wisely turn to my inner self and connect with my heaven within. I see all my resentments as ideal opportunities to work on my inner self. These ordeals are necessary for my growth as I become aware of my dualities. Thus, I no longer seek to dramatize situations, but live each day in serenity. And I feel like that's what this is especially if you have to set a boundary with someone. Or they want me to see this one too, which is the 5 of Cups. It was in the reverse, but this is just all the shit that's being force-fed in, right? With these crazy ones behind, but it's like you don't need to accept that just because someone's throwing, and I want to say emotional baggage. I feel like there's someone or people in your world that they're so fucking unhappy with themselves that's what makes them feel happy, right? Is spewing the venom around to see who else can burn with their acid too, because it's eating them up and killing them from the inside. So why not share that love? You don't have to accept that. Put a shield up. And I would suggest as well, when you're around this person or this group of people, to legit shield your energy. You have the Wheel of Fortune with the Justice card that applies. I love these cards, okay? But that this is a real time of change. We are in a very large time of change, right? You got Judgment, the Sun, and the 7 of Coins. Choose wisely, my friend, because there are things happening right now that are going to bring you a lot of success, okay? Again, you will manifest what you need. You're bringing that success in, but this is making those choices wisely and really cultivating your craft, really working towards it. And funny that the 7 came out when we already have the 8. So this is really making choices on how do I move through? What is my success? How do I want to do this? What will make me feel good down in my core? And this also, I feel like we have the 3 of Swords, 3 of Coins, and there was 2 more that came out there, was the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Cups, right? Is that it's time to rest the things that have been force-fed that made you hurt, that made you feel bad, that, someone else has kind of orchestrated this because they're not helping, right? So I feel like once you start setting those boundaries, and it's going to become very, very clear who those boundaries are, what their motives are, or boundary crossers are, what their motives are, and from there, this is a real moment to go, okay, sit back and go, how do I take my power back from this group of people? For some of you, it may be, sorry, you're not allowed in my house, and block, remove from all your socials, and, don't answer the phone calls, or block the phone call, things like that. Again, I've got the 5 of Wands that was under here. So for some of you, you already know what this is. Again, if it doesn't resonate, just disregard it because it's not for everyone. But I felt really called to bring this out. And I will tell you, too, that there's parts of this that I was really unsure whether I should continue with the reading. But I feel like that it's because whoever needs this, you need to hear it, my friends. Could even be just a reminder for myself. But that's the message I have. I love you all. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.